It has been piloted in the foundation program at Qatar, the foundation English program at Qatar University, and also by the help of QU library. Some colleagues gave some feedback, and I think it was recommended as a main component for Qatar University Blackboard system. In the beginning, yeah, you are? Okay, great. I believe you would be the pioneers in using this tool, because I've only met a few of them, particularly from our department. So other than the foundation, probably you will be the first people to use it. You may have heard about, okay, who used Blackboard before working at Qatar University? You did. Okay, who worked with Blackboard at QU for some years? No? Have you used Blackboard before?
I used, but I used as a student.
Okay, great. So you are familiar with the features of Blackboard, and Doctor, you used Blackboard? Yes, I mean in another university, yes. There are other systems, something like Moodle. Some people use Moodle, which is free. Great. The only difference, Moodle is free, open source. Blackboard is a commercial site where you have to pay and maintain it through the company, not on your own. Now, the other question is about safe assignment versus turned in. Have you heard or used safe assignment before? Yes. So safe assignment is, what is safe assignment? Could you tell me? It's a tool we use to okay, exactly. So basically we use that tool to check plagiarism or check students' authentic work, and if it's authentic or not. So that's for checking plagiarism. The misconception I found that many people assume that turned in is another safe assignment. However, turned in has three main features. It's not only one feature. So again, within the turned in tool, you will see three features or three options, not one. And I will show you how great some of these tools are, especially the originality checking and the grade mark, which is the main feature we need to emphasize today. And could you like me to repeat again in a different way? Okay, I think we're good so far. So within this turned-in solution, you will find something, or one of the solutions they have is called originality checking to prevent plagiarism. Peer mark or peer reviewing, if you want other students in groups or as individuals to mark their peers' papers. So as an example, my students submit a writing article or a research or a report, and they upload it to the system. You can easily decide if one or a group of students are going to review the work of their peers. You can do it randomly or by individuals. You have all this flexibility. The third one is the automated grade mark. Automated grade mark means you as a teacher don't have to mark the paper or give feedback. The system will provide sufficient feedback, but in addition to this, you still can add some more comments and suggestions to students to improve what they are doing. I'm talking in terms of writing, like language-wise, structure, grammar, many other aspects. May I know quickly where you teach, different colleges or departments? Business, okay, education, and you are also arts. Okay, yeah, okay. So within the first one, we'll go quickly through the originality checking. You can easily check plagiarism. The system is connected to a global or an online repository where you can analyze the text provided by the students and receive some feedback about how authentic the work is. It will also give you some more information about the submission information, what students have submitted, when, how. Another interesting feature, it's connected to iPads. You can generate a code, use your iPad at home or in the car. I mean, I've seen a teacher using it on the train in Europe, between one country to another country, marking all the students' work offline. And then once you are connected back to the internet, it will sync with the online system and share the feedback with the students. So that's another interesting feature. You can easily add grades. So you score students' work based on rubric or without rubric, you decide. And finally, you can easily browse all the students' papers and submissions. All right. The second, now I'm giving you an overview, and then we'll go to the details in a minute. Second one is the second solution, or the grade mark or quick mark. You can see it has two different names, quick mark or grade mark. It will generate codes, or using codes, it will generate a report for students where you can add your own comments, and you can add some additional comments in case the system missed any. So I don't know if you teach Arabic, English, or math, or science, or language in general, you are able to add some common language corrections, like capitalization, spelling, subject-verb agreement, redundancy, citation needed, run-on sentences, spelling. You have a big set here. However, the good thing, when you become an advanced user of this tool, you can create your own set based on the course or materials you teach. So in the end, the feedback will look something like this. This is the student paper in the background, and you can see general comments with overall feedback from the teacher, I think. And here you have some of the comments that appear to students. As a Java interface, as you know, Blackboard is in all a Java interface. You can see small icons or small colored icons here. Once you click with the mouse, it will show you the full comment, like something like this one, for example. It will show you the comment with all the information and maybe examples and suggestions for improvement. Okay, so let's switch to the Blackboard system and try it ourselves. I assume you all have laptops, I believe. So let's log into our Blackboard and create one new assignment for our students. Please create one assignment for your student. Yeah. Of course, you will need to log into one of your courses. Let me take you through these steps. Yes, definitely you can. My suggestion, if you have completed a course, is to make it unavailable to students, so they don't see any new announcements or assignments assigned or added to this course. You know how to make it unavailable? Okay, so I'll do the same with one of my courses here from the fall semester. Let me open this fall semester course. Once you see not currently available, it means students can't access any new materials you add. Right. So I'm going to go to customization in the administration menu down, customization, and then click properties. Click properties to make the course unavailable. So again, course available, no. Just mark it as no and save. Now students can see this course and they won't bother you with any questions or what's going on. Do you have to study more, or anything of that sort. I assume you have an assignments or a project section within your Blackboard. If you do, you will see a button like this, assignments. Do we have one? Yes, please.
Yeah, regarding to make the course unavailable for students.
Yes.
To my understanding, that's when student already finished the course, automatically Blackboard will remove it from the student.
Not true. It will. I think it will be available for 4 or 5 years. All the Blackboard courses are available for at least 4 or 5 years for students. Yeah, I think it's part of the policy. They can go back. Maybe they need more information, more resources, and that sort of thing. But if you don't have that plenty of materials, or if you are doing something like piloting more development to the course, then it's better, or at least for a temporary time, can make it unavailable. and then do any changes. I mean, when I say changes, because sometimes I can develop an old course, take a copy, and import it into a new course as a template. So to save time in redesigning or redeveloping the whole course all over again. So that might be the case. But I believe one time the policy I heard about or read about was that they make all the courses available and they are all on the server for some time. So again, I'll go to one of my menus. If you don't have any menus here, please create one using the plus tab on the top. So again, there is a small plus mark here. Just click on that and then click content area, new content area. So I'll call this new content area assignment 2. I don't know if you realize it's also possible to write the name in both English and Arabic, which in some cases would be very useful, especially for foundation students or beginner users of a language. That might be a good example. Doctora, I think you can do the same in the Arabic department, where students may not recognize English or Arabic. Yeah, so is the screen clear enough, or shall we make it a bit bigger? So I'm creating a new content area and I will make it available so students can see it, assuming that the course is open. Of course, they will not see anything. And then I will submit. Any new button you create goes down by default. So I have to scroll down to the end and drag it or move it up wherever I like in the structure of my course. So again, you see now it's on its own at the very bottom of the page. So I need to drag it from this section, this part, and move it up to where you would like to have it. So I'm going to move this one up more here. And I'll add it as the third button. And release the mouse, then you will see it wherever you place. Any questions so far? Any questions? All right, do we all have an assignment button now? Okay, please. Yes? Please click on your assignment button and tell me what you see there.
Field contact, assignments, dolls.
Sorry?
Field contact, or
Yeah?
assignments, dolls.
Okay, you have already created some materials, but if you just created the assignment, what do you see there? I see nothing. I have nothing here. There is no content, right? There is no content under this part. As you see here, it's time to add content. This is a default message by the system. What kind of content can we add to a course? And this is an online course. This is not like teaching in class. So what kind of content can we add? Only Word files and PowerPoints? Okay, I mean, in terms of categories or methodology related categories, we have 3 main components. When you share materials, let me write them down so we have a better idea of how we organize an online or a blended course. You may have heard the universities now adopting new methods where blended courses are recommended or encouraged in some colleges. A blended course is a mix of face-to-face instruction in class along with virtual instructions. So virtual could be live, that's the synchronous. You meet your students even if they are sitting at home, and asynchronous by sharing materials. So to divide the type of materials I may share with my learners or virtual materials, we may say I have documents. We may have documents. We may have multimedia. We may have animations. And along with that, we may have this is the first category or group, and that's content here. As you see, this is what we mean by content. The second one is assessments. tasks and assessments that you may add to the course. And finally, other interactive tools. Why do we need interactive tools? Why do we need interactive tools? I think we need them to motivate learners. Students like fun activities, social activities, that sort of interaction. So the tools, some of these, not all of course, but some of these tools might be motivating to some students. So in general,
Special boards.
yeah, absolutely. All these types of tools emphasize collaboration, communication, and interaction. So I mean, in a different presentation about 21st century teacher skills, you have to emphasize all three: communication, we said again, sorry, communication, collaboration, and interaction. So keep this as a vision in mind when you design your online course. So here, all the documents, media, and animation as one category, assessments, and finally, tools. The new Blackboard, or the one we use now, has more features than before. So by default, when you click on build content, you will see a big menu full of all the different ideas you have in mind related to all three. So an item could be a document, a PDF file, a Word file, or whatever, an attachment, audio, image, video, web link, or module. Module is more advanced. Then you may create more, like structured folders or subfolders with different content. And finally, you can see more web-based content, like sharing a video on YouTube. And this is very, very useful, I believe, because I don't have to create so many videos, upload them, waste hours in editing, and then share. There are maybe millions of videos now available for free, 5 minutes to maybe 2 hours. You can easily select for any category, any relevant video, and then easily share them in maybe 2 minutes. So along with the, I mean, I'm not a fan of Flickr, photos, or other types of, but the two important ones here are SlideShare presentations and YouTube. Okay, I'll show you. The SlideShare presentation, it's like a PowerPoint presentation, but you share online. And you decide who are going to access this slide, or this, PowerPoint. You can make it public so anybody can see it. You can control it with a link. Only people who have the link can see the PowerPoint slides, or other options. The good thing about it, you outreach more people, you share your content, of course, and you benefit from what others share. And you can easily integrate it into the course. As an example, sometimes I share a PowerPoint with my learners, but I don't want them to download it. So in that case, you will be able to access it only on Blackboard, and I will make sure, I will check from my side that they did access, but they don't have to share it. In case you are interested with copyrights or any other reason. The same thing with YouTube. As we said, you can share a video through YouTube and then project it on the screen, or you find a video, ready-made video by someone, and you take the name of the video or the link of the video and then copy and paste it here, and it will work. I'm not sure about this one. This is the first time I see it. So you can see Blackboard is developing every now and then. New tools are being added, which is great. So let's add a SlideShare presentation. Doctor, you asked about the SlideShare presentation. The same thing for YouTube. Both of them have the same feature. So you can select one of the two as you like. Now I'm adding a SlideShare. Now this Blackboard server is getting connected to another website called SlideShare. If you go to the SlideShare, I can show you quickly my own SlideShare. I have an account with it. It's a free account. You can upload PowerPoints there. SlideShare. Mine is slideshare.net Edonile. That's the name I use. And on that page, you can see any presentation I've saved or shared in the past few years. And it's really interesting. You can see this was a presentation I did last year. And you can see how many people viewed that presentation here. Okay. Another one, can you share maybe this one? See, I was really surprised when I saw this one. 10,000 people viewed this slide or this presentation. That's an amazing number for me. It means people are getting interested in maybe knowing about the same things we try here or think about at some point. So I can maybe, what I can do here, I will copy the link of this, the title of this presentation, and I go back to my screen here. Now I need to search for a new slide or a new PowerPoint to share. You can search by full text or maybe by tags. Tags are like marks or hashtags or tags that you add. I think they call them in Arabic wasp or something of that sort, to like a keyword. It's like a keyword or a specific URL. If you have the link, the direct link, then you copy and paste the link and it's there. So let's try to search by the keyword and see what we get, or by the title. It's a bit slow because, as we said, it's connecting to a different server. So it's not directly connecting to the same server. And it may take a couple of minutes. By the way, the network is a bit slow today. Have you realized that? So it's not our fault, I think. All right, now how many results do we have? Look, I have 14,000 possible PowerPoints I can use. Is that okay? I think this is amazing. I mean, let's say you teach about business, language, in my case, grammar, engineering, or any field. You just search with a keyword and you have hundreds and hundreds of presentations you may share. As you see, this is mine. I've showed you the other screen with the same slides, and this is the preview, of course. And now you see all the information and tags related to this, and also a short description of the video or the PowerPoint. Other popular videos related to the same thing are here. I have this one. You can see this one, creative ideas for getting students involved, engaged, and excited. That might be interesting as well. And I think we have some more down here. Yes, I mean, this kind, or the statistics showing next to each PowerPoint might be really helpful, because it will show you if this is a relevant file to add or not that relevant. I'm not trying to take you away from the presentation, but this might be useful for us. So I will quickly preview it to see if that's exactly what I need. If it's not that relevant, then I will have to choose something else or cancel. As you see, this is what students will be able to see. They will see it as a YouTube video, but they can't download it. So they see it live from mobile or from screen. You can see all the slides are coming here. All right. Everything about this content, and then so I'm going to select this one. It's a bit slow. Sorry. Showing some articles. Yes. Like we said, it's a slide sharing tool. Some of them will look like PowerPoints, while others wouldn't be that relevant, like documents shared or that. So what happened here? The whole PowerPoint was automatically migrated to our Blackboard with all the information. I think you can easily control some of those options. Like I can maybe rename the title of the presentation. Maybe shorten the name or make it Arabic or English or anything like this. I can hide some information, like I can hide the URL or the link to the original PowerPoint. I can hide some other information, like permit users to view this content, yes or no, make it available or not. And also I can determine when to show it and when to disable it or to hide it from other users, and finally submit. Yeah, so once you submit it, it becomes part of your course in an interactive and friendly way. So now I have a new PowerPoint. All students have to do is just watch presentation. Watch, that might be a bit funny, watch. It's not a video, but the title is watch. Yeah, once you submit, it's saved on your course. Okay, go down, scroll down to the end of the page and click submit. Okay. So now I'm watching this presentation, and as a student, I can easily browse it many times, and as a teacher, I have some idea or some more details about who accessed the materials and who didn't. So that might be useful sometimes. Now, we're done with the first part about sharing materials, but I still need to assess students' learning or involve them in a task or in an activity through the Turnitin tool. Yeah, sure. How about the video? Is that okay? Like a YouTube video? So again, for people who just join us now, we're talking about any Blackboard content. Please select the first one to share any of these types of media or content. They include basically documents, that's PowerPoint, Word, or PDF, media, video, image, or anything related, and finally animations like Flash animations. And then the second category is what we call assessments. When you interact with the students, you ask them to share something or work together or collaborate. That's all under assessments. And finally, the tools for interactivity and motivation, when you want to motivate the students. So back to the first one. One of the tools we have is called YouTube video and SlideShare. Both of them are very useful. And now we are using the YouTube video. So as a language teacher myself, I will search for teaching listening skills and hit enter. Let's see what happens when we search for videos related to teaching listening. So now I have IELTS, TOEFL related, general English related, all these videos with different length and description or details could be very, very useful to some students based on the age and level and so many things. Of course, as a faculty, it's very important to review and watch the video yourself. Don't share anything without making sure it has the right content and the right details. Otherwise, you might be in trouble. So you can preview and then select the video. Okay, you see under the video or the thumbnail, the small thumbnail, you have two buttons, preview and select. So select that one, and automatically it shows you everything about the video. The duration of the video, it has 5 minutes only, comes from this website or this user. It was added in maybe 3 years ago. This is the direct link. And then you can add more instructions for students. Please watch the video, then do this. Please watch the video and come to class to describe it, like a flipped classroom or, If you want to hide the link, then show URL, no. Make it as no. By default, it's no. Then show YouTube information, maybe yes or no. It's up to you, of course. Then, of course, we go to the very end of the page, the bottom of the page, and then submit to save. Do you have any questions so far? Easy? All right. I'll move to assessments, and we'll start creating our first task for students. This is, of course, going to be a writing task. This will be a writing task. Normally, most of us use safe assignment all the time. If you are familiar with safe assignment, Turnitin won't be that difficult. It will be the same thing. So select the Turnitin assignment. That's basically the last one so far. If they add new tools in the future, you will see them under the same menu or the drop-down menu here. Okay, so again, it's downloading now. The page is opening. The problem with Turnitin, it's a bit tricky. So if you are a user who haven't tried it before, you may think, oh, it's a bit confusing. However, once you know how to use it, it becomes straightforward and you won't have any issues later on. So in the very beginning, once you start, the first time you open Turnitin, it will ask you to accept license or accept agreement, and then you will receive a confirmation email. Probably you have seen this message now. click accept and move to the next step. Okay, as you see, I have three main types of assignments here. Paper assignment, that's the standard one we use all the time. And then you have peer mark assignment, and this one allows students to review their peers, the work of their colleagues. And they can do it as individuals or as a group, as we said. So for example, I can, what's your name? Dr. Isa, so I can assign Dr. Iyad's paper, and the three of you are going to give him feedback, not just one person. That might be good for group projects or group tasks. And finally, revision assignment, if you would like students to submit multiple drafts, and use this with care. Sometimes they will submit one draft, you make changes or you give them feedback, and then they submit a second draft and a final draft. The problem, if you don't choose this one, in that case, if they submit the second draft, the system will show it as all plagiarized, maybe 100% plagiarized from the same user. So that's, of course, a bit confusing and tricky. To avoid this, if you have different drafts, they will do draft submission 1, submission 2, 3, then select the revisions or revision assignment. That means more than one copy or more than one draft will be shared. So I go back to paper assignment and click next. Are we all together now? Are you doing the same thing or do you need more time? Yes, you need help. You're good? Okay. Yeah, how can we control different screens? Okay, so we'll see what you have now. No, VG. Oh, but this is my screen, I think. Oh, yes. So I think you need to connect this one. Let's see. That might help for some of you. If you need more help, more support, if you want to share your screen, please use the cables we have, and that will show on my screen. Now, we are in the process of creating a new assignment. It's like a folder where students will share or upload their files. So assignment name, I'll call it maybe report 1. Sorry, report 1. And it has 10 points. What happens when I add a point value here? If this assignment is out of 10 or 15 or 100, by default, if you add a score, Blackboard is going to add a new grade center column. You know the grade center where you have all the different assignments and grades. So along with all the assignments you have created in the beginning of the course, it will automatically add a new one in the end, towards the end of the grade center for this particular task, and the name of this column will be report 1. Good? So remember, be careful about the dates. Okay, I have start date and due date, and post date. To explain the difference, I think one of them will make it available to students. Let's need to confirm this. Can begin submitting. Okay. One of them will make it available. Students can see the assignment, but they can't upload. So be careful when you set the dates that they match. For example, if you select February 22nd, use this one as February 22nd. In other cases, I may show them the assignment on September, but they start the submission on February. They may submit it on, they may see it in the beginning of the course, that's September 15th, let's say, but they can't do anything. When can they submit or share their files? When this is the week for assignments or submissions, that would be maybe February 22nd and onwards. So to make it easier for all and to avoid any confusion, one time students were saying, I can see it, but I can't upload. I asked them, have you uploaded before? They say no. So I tried and searched Google and many things until I found that this was the problem. They need to make sure that the date used for starting the activity or the assignment is the same like the date used for posting their files and their reports. Do you have any question about the dates? I think the idea is clear. So make sure this one is going to be the same date. I'll go back here, February 22nd, the same date.
Third date is when they can
share the files again here as begin viewing the comments and grades and also the comments you share with them. So immediately after they submit, they can get feedback. As we said in the beginning, the feedback comes automatically on the same can you see my screen? Oh, you have two screens? Okay, so each one. Very good. That's very nice. Perfect. Because I got confused. I was looking here and see something different. Okay. So I mean, they need to submit before, let's say, before the end of the first week of March. This is the deadline for them. And the post date, as we said here, the post date is the date and time students can begin viewing the comments and grades that the instructors have left to their papers in grade mark. Don't go without, or don't submit without checking all the optional settings. This looks very, it's like hidden here, but it has some good features that we need to go through. Now, you want to say something to students, so give them clear instruction or some instructions on that box. So please open the page. Open the page on that day, make your submission on that X day. Make sure to include an introduction, a conclusion, and some paragraphs. Whatever you need to explain here, you can enter or type on that section. Then allow submission after the due date. Would you say yes or no? Would you allow students to submit after the due date? Depending on the situation and the level or nature of the course. That's true. Another workaround for this might be maybe to mark it as yes or to extend the deadline. I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes I say to my students, the due date is next Thursday, when it's actually the Sunday after or a few days after. To avoid any headache and to save my time, they may say, oh, you know, like this is a cultural thing. People like to wait till the very last minute before they do the task. So in that case, you say, okay, the deadline is Wednesday, but you extended 1 or 2 more days. So, but in your instructions, write or type, it's that fixed date. So you have the flexibility to accept the late submission or not to accept it later on. So definitely I need an originality report, and I suggest that all of us use an originality report when they submit. The originality is like safe assignment. So they submit their papers and you check if they plagiarized or copied from other students or from the internet. The system will make a global search and it will detect any plagiarized content, even one sentence or one paragraph or quotation, whatever. Use this feature with caution. Sometimes the report might not be very accurate. I mean, we have to accept this fact that this is still technology. It's completely not a human. So some of the reports or highlighted sections might not be very accurate. However, it's not that bad or that inaccurate. So when should we get the report? Immediately after. Immediately first report is final, or immediately can overwrite reports until due date. I think the second option is better in case they are going to resubmit it, or if they have a second draft or third draft. So use the second draft, overwrite. Exclude bibliographical materials and literature related materials. Exclude quoted materials. I think for these options it's up to you and what you teach. Depends on your major or the specialization and what you teach to students. So you may decide. Exclude quoted materials. Exclude small matches. That might be an interesting option. So you decide maybe if the percent is less than 10%, just ignore it. No need to check that portion of. So I think I recommend using percentage 10. If it's more than 10, then you seriously need to have a look and see what's going on. Okay, let's say when I show you the example report I have, you will see that one student plagiarized like 70% of the paper. It means out of maybe 10 paragraphs, he copied 7 from the internet or from other students. And only 3 were written by that student. So in that case, I mean the student will be penalized based on the university policies. But if it's just a minor percent, like sometimes you say a phrase or a sentence, and other people have used the same sentence. So it may show as a plagiarized sentence, which is nothing, I agree.
Where?
Yes. Sometimes the title. They say it as or the question. So I mean we have to be careful about those little options. Okay, would you allow students to see the report or not? Again, be careful about this. If it's all about checking my writing and the quality of my writing, then yes. But if it's about plagiarism only, then no. Why? Because some students are very smart. They would upload something, check what's wrong, fix it quickly, and then resubmit. And they are innocent. So use this with caution. Right, Abdulaziz?
Are the students allowed to submit once or more than once?
Again, if you are allowing, it depends. Like in my case, we use projects. So in the project, they have phase 1, phase or stages. So I have to allow them more than one submission. Otherwise, it will show as all copied. Yeah, of course, you can check the first one. But the problem is, by time you forget. Like, we have an ongoing project for 14 weeks. And the final report is due on the 13 weeks, I believe. So I wouldn't remember what they have done in the first week or if it was the same content. So for accuracy, I think it's good to have both options sometimes. In the terms of teaching language or language skills, I have to show them the report so they know about their language mistakes and what they have done wrong. That's a good question, but I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if it checks graphics and. Yeah, I think anything with a text will be scanned and checked. But if it's just a screenshot or a graph like an image, I think it won't be checked in any way. Now, the submission you make here will be saved on a global repository as part of the company server or the supplier server. That's normally in the US, it's not in Qatar. So again, you decide if you want this paper to be saved where others might have access to it in other institutions. As an example, if I teach another student at CNAQ or Qatar Foundation and who has the same content checked by the same website, it may show that yes, there is X student in X university used the same materials. So that would be the case in that situation. Otherwise, you can say no, and then it's only within Qatar University server. It won't go anywhere else. So the system will search the student paper repository, that's QU, and then current and archived internet sources like Google, and finally periodicals, journals, and publications. That's all the search engine, the academic search engines and journals we normally access for any similar content or information. Now, there is another interesting feature about creating a rubric. Let's say you want students to know how they will be assessed, how their paper will be assessed based on structure, organization, content, grammar, other variables you have or factors you teach. So in that case, you have to create, either you create a rubric or use a ready-made rubric. Do you normally use rubrics in writing or in your submissions or assessments? You do? So, I mean, if you have like a table with a scale with different categories, then you can easily upload it, launch, there is a manager here or a rubric manager where you decide to search for something similar or related or create your own. Let me show you quickly how this works. By the way, if now you see any error message while using this feature, you probably need to see the IT and ask them to fix any Java related issues. However, most of our laptops are compatible with all the systems used by KU, so I don't assume we'll have problems. The problem may happen at home if you use your own personal laptop. Any questions? Okay, let's do this one quickly. Now, we can create a new rubric from the top left menu. Create a new rubric. And you see now I have 3 scales. 1, 2, 3. I can add more scales and I can add more criterion here. Like now I have 2 or I think or 3. So scale 1 will be, you can easily change or rename it. So let's say structure. The second one will be, what do you suggest for the second? Doctor, what do you use?
Eye contact.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Eye contact. But eye contact would probably be in a presentation, I think. Yeah, but for writing or reports, let's say organization. Then the third one would be language or grammar and language. And then I have here criterion 1. This one may be excellent. All right, or exemplary. The second might be very good. Normally in each department there are different rubrics that we have and can easily use. Now you need to describe each item, how that fits. If now definitely I think this would be a 4. A 4 mark might be, if you have three elements, maybe 5, second one 5, third one 5. Now this means the mark is out of 15 in that case. And the percentage here is the percentage of the overall mark. Yani for example, I may give them 5 marks here, but it's only equal to 5% or 10%. And that might be, the organization might be 5 scores, but it's 50% of the mark. So please be careful about this one. And I'm not really sure, I haven't tried the rubric myself before, but you can easily decide how to use the rubric and test it before you introduce it to the students. Okay, we will create a new rubric from the left side. There is a small button and add a description for each item. Yes, create a rubric. Launch the rubric manager, yeah, with the pop-up menu. So there is a little problem if I add another item or another criterion here. The problem I have now, the mark became out of 110, which is not logical. So make sure that the overall total is only 100. So I can replace this one to 75 instead. And now it's out of 100 again.
But it's okay.
Yeah, but I think most students wouldn't understand it if it's out of 110.
For example,
That would be interesting. I never thought about it. I think this is a good idea in case you have like a bonus or additional marks. They may try. Okay, now confirm saving. Yes, save anyway, and it will be saved. It's realizing that I didn't type any description or descriptors, so probably you will need to add the descriptors later and save. Close. Now, other interesting features, and again, remember this one is very important, and that's one of the main features of that tool is to allow the e-rater. E-rater, in other words, is the language checking option. Okay. Now, what's the level of my learners? What's the language level of my learners? You see, you have different levels. That might help a lot in, like in analyzing their text. So are they advanced users or advanced learners or high school level, middle school? I normally choose high school. I know they are university students, but in some programs they might be like high school, especially they are not native users of English. And then what type of language do you recommend for analyzing? US, it means American English or British English. That might be interesting because if you select, let's say, American English only, it means all the spelling related words will be highlighted if the student graduated from a British system or and vice versa. So I think both would be more relevant in that case. And what kind of categories should be analyzed in that case? Spelling, grammar, usage, mechanics, and style. I would say yes for all. Would you like to save this option as a default for future? Yes. No, for now I say no. These are all the different elements of the language. The spelling, when they mistype some words, or the grammar, all the different tenses, present, future, and all that. Usage, how they use the sentences, and if they make any major mistakes. And the mechanics, I think the mechanics is more of the different types of like arguments or different genres in writing, and finally the style. I mean, some of them might be complicated for a non-linguist, I would say, but in general, they may give enough information or good information for students that might help them to improve their writing. And I know some people or some of us who publish articles or in academic journals or might find this useful. I can maybe upload my own work, check the content quickly for improvement, and then submit it. You have the right, you can, I mean, you are not a user or a student user, but you still can upload other content and get responses. Not from students, I mean. So now my turned-in assignment has been created successfully. Once you see it success, means there is a new button for that assignment. And I can go back to the main menu or the main screen where I added my assignments. And now I see the report. This is the button for the icon for for turned in. The safe assignment button was the green one. Probably you are familiar with the other one. Now, assuming that students have submitted their work, let me show you how the work appears in that case. Are we all on the same page? Have you created a new assignment and saved the screen? The rubric. Okay, maybe scroll up or down. Maybe something is not showing. Okay, no, a little down. Yes, no. Here you see there is a small button, the blue one. Click on that one and create a new rubric. Okay, I forgot to say, if we don't want to create your own rubric, the same way we did, again, try to create a new rubric, click create new, but search for rubrics online. This will take you to the Turnitin website where many educators from different countries share rubrics. And you can easily search for a rubric related to what you teach, like literature, English language, drama, or any other areas of interest. So now, as an example, I have my students submit different drafts of their own writings. Like here you can see writing 2 and then writing 3. And I'm adding or sharing some instructions. Upload your final draft to this link. Make it to simplify the instructions so they know what to do. print a copy. So again, along with the electronic copy of the material, they submit a hard copy to me in person, and submit your draft 2 and final draft before this deadline. That's the due date we assigned, with the timing, of course. Now, you want to review the reports that have been generated, so you click View or Complete. Sorry, this was the safe assignment, so I click on the second one. Do you see anything here? We don't see any assignments, right? This is the tricky part I was talking about. The first screen you get when you click View will show you nothing, except an option to upload a file. As you said, if you are writing something on your own, or a student gave it to you on flash drive and you want to upload it yourself on his behalf, then you can easily choose the file you want to upload and analyze. And there are 3 main options: from your computer, from Dropbox if you use Dropbox, or from Google Drive. So again, they're trying to make or give you many variables and options to make it easy. But if I already have received some submissions from my students and I want to check them, then I need to click on the messages on the very top right side of this window, and you will see messages. I don't know why it's very dark like this. It's like hidden. Maybe they do it deliberately so students don't see it. So click Messages, and now I have some new menus: Assignment Inbox, Edit, Assignment Libraries, and Class Statistics. Let's go to the first one. Click on Assignment Inbox, and now I can see all the submissions that have been uploaded by my students or submitted by students, with some information about each one. So this one was submitted on December 8th, and probably this was the deadline. This one was a bit late. He submitted on the 10th, and this one was early 7th, and so on. So you know exactly if they were on time or after the due date. A warning.
Last one.
No, the red one I uploaded myself. So that's why it's showing as an inactive user or inactive student. But if it was submitted by the student, then you can see them all in one color with the same information. Again, could you repeat that question? If the file
It's sent after the deadline.
After the without going and looking, say, for example,
this would definitely go under the flagging system. The flagging system, this is a very nice feature. It's called the retention center, full retention center, but that's another workshop. So within the retention there's a retention center, you have to create a rule. If a student is late for doing this or for submitting this, then give me this action, and you create the sort of action you need, like a flag, a highlight, or a message sent to you and to the student. So in that case, they will know that something is going wrong. Again, this, as we said, this is not the focus of this workshop, but I think I suggest that you try the retention center or watch some videos about it. It's really interesting. We have presented about it in the past, so probably there is a video, maybe a recording of that one. Yeah. All right. Now, again, you see all my students, the title of their presentations, and the percentage. Now, I don't see any problem with this one, so I'll go back and select another submission. I think the first one had more problems. Let's go back. Right. So maybe as we can see, one student has a high percent, which is 27, and that one is 32. You can see the color has changed. So probably if it's over 50 or 60%, it might be red. So like it's a critical case. So all you have to do is just click on the color to find out what's going on. So if we click on that yellow color, now it will open a new screen with all the information about this submission. And this is one of the important windows, of course, where you see all the feedback and marking options. Not for one student, but for all students. So you click any of the students. Once you see this screen, you can browse all the submissions from the first one to the last one. Now you can see on the left side, it comes like a scanned page, because we said this is Java. This is not like Word. It's like Java. So it's like a scanned page, but it's dynamic and interactive at the same time. Now, what are the problems we see? Do you realize any problems? Yes. This whole section was copied from this website. So I have the name of the website, which is here. And I have all the different quotations or statements that were plagiarized. Now, if I go back, so I mean, in that case, students can't argue that they didn't plagiarize, because you can show them the evidence. And probably, maybe they are not aware. Maybe they don't know that they have to write their own content or own ideas. Many students assume, oh, okay, I can just go to Google and copy anything and read or write it, things of that sort. So we have to show them how to write an authentic report or assignment, and not to rely on as I call it to them, Mr. Google. Don't use Mr. Google. Use your own ideas. Now we are done with the first part, because this is very similar to safe assignment. There is nothing different between this and that. Let's move to the second one, which I find more interesting and one of the main sources of power in that tool. Let's click on the second one. Sorry, before you click, sorry. Again, I'm still with that student. I see his name here, the title of his submission, but I want to browse another student. I will mark his paper. I'll give him a 0 or 5 or 10, whatever. So you just click here, enter the mark, and then enter. It will be saved on Grade Center at the same time. So once you enter it here, it's saved on, so you don't have to waste time or print the paper and read it at home and then come the next day and type the grades. It's less headache for you. Yes. That's what you will do on the second screen. That's part of the feedback you will give to the student. Okay, maybe I still need a copy, a printout, so I can easily download it as a PDF and print later on. So I can have the three options. Submitted file normally is the document, the Word document. But if you want it as a friendly PDF, then it's also available. Sorry? Yes, of course, definitely will come with comments. But submitted file will show you only the Word document. Now, the other option, if you use an iPad, I can generate a code, generate a simple code. Copy this code, and in your iPad there is an application. You need to download this application and enter the code. Once you enter the code, you can see all the submissions, the same submissions. Again? Sorry. What's an application? It's Turnitin. If you search Turnitin website, you will see the links to direct links to that. I don't use iPad myself. I use Galaxy, so I haven't tried it myself. It's only so far. It's only with iPad. I know maybe this is one of the advantages over that. If you want more information about this paper, you click on that link, and it will show you any additional information you may need, like submission date, submission count, I don't know, maybe other information. Now, if you want to browse other users, I have 23 submissions, so I can click on the top arrows, left and right, and that will take you to maybe the 22nd submission, maybe the one before. So that student, he submitted something again, but it was a bit problematic. Some parts were, see, maybe minor sections or phrases, but they are all marked as well. Remember, this is foundation level, like very basic level, not good users of English. Now, the second part is the grade mark, or the second main feature is grade mark. So please, everyone, click on grade mark. For the time being, would you like to upload any document or any short report you have and test it? You can do that if you like. And let's see what happens here. Now, with the grade mark, I have all the comments. They're all color coded, so you can see only one type of codes or one set. Type. Let's understand this or this feature or what we have on that screen. Now, this is the submission, the text. And now these are the highlights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 comments. If you click on the first one, prefer. What's wrong with prefer? Because I have both, so I need an infinitive, of course. I can't use S. So now this section, or the system is describing to the student that you need to remove the S because of this. And it may give an example as well. No, this is done by the system. So that's the beauty of it. If you have a full report, like 20 pages, 20 students, we're talking about hundreds of pages now, and maybe in 5 minutes, they can all get something like this. Should be very useful. I'm not really sure if they have an Arabic system. I've been investigating if they have something for Arabic, hopefully. Type. Maybe this is not enough. Maybe I want, as a teacher, I want to add something more, like more comments. So in that case, I can click on add and explain more, add examples, or add maybe clarifications in Arabic. So I will try to add أضف الفعل المصدر, like that, or maybe use infinitive after the modal verbs. Okay, and then save it. So you see now they have received the default options along with some additional information in English or in Arabic. The other thing, we can have different sets of comments. Let's say I want to add one more comment about the spelling. Let's say, I don't know if there is a spelling mistake. Normally there isn't. But if this word difference is misspelled. So what I'm going to do, I will say, where is spelling here? Do you see spelling?
Just
Yeah. No. Down? Yes, spelling. Sorry. So spelling. I will drag this button and move it to this word. So what is happening now? There is a new comment. Maybe it's hiding another word, so I can move it up a little. Or maybe over this exact word. So they know that this word, and what I'm trying to do is I'm editing some of the sets to show both English and Arabic. Because they may, if they don't know how to write one word, they may not understand the feedback, the sentence in English. So I'm trying to add it in Arabic as well, so they understand it in both languages. Okay? If this one is irrelevant or not needed, so I can delete it by clicking this trash can, and it's gone. So I can add as many comments in my text as I like, and let's see what we have here. Missing comma, and it's explaining the problem with commas. It's like a full tutorial for the learner. Yes. No, they have a default set. This is done by the company. Let me show you this very quickly. Yeah, I have to click on this option. Now I see all the different sets. The first one is about cause effect is the one I added myself. But maybe you want to show them less number of comments about only one type of errors in the writing. For example, let's say composition. So under composition, you have only 4 or 5. Sorry, we have many, like tense shift, support, simple subject-verb agreement. These are, of course, symbols, but they refer to some language rules and concepts. So PV, what's PV? Passive voice. When you say PV, pronoun and antecedent agreement, different things you can explore and decide on as you like. The tone of the language, of course, tone might be more linguistical or related to linguistics. Vague sentence, maybe the whole sentence is vague, it's not clear, it doesn't make sense. Weak transition, etc., etc. So I would go through them and just pick the ones that I find useful and add to my assignment and remove any unnecessary. If you just want to give them an overview of everything, then you keep all the sets. So how to create a new set? You click on the small plus and name the new test, and then save it. And now I have a new blank set with nothing. You see, I have nothing here. So second step is to select one category like this and one item, one mark. We call them marks. Right click on the mark. Sorry, where is it? Add. Again, sorry. Cancel this one. Yeah, sorry. You add the description. You open the description. Add the mark, the small mark, or the item to one set, which is in my case test. So if I go to test again, now I have only one item, one mark to include for my students. You're welcome. Shukran. You're welcome. Okay. Again, could you repeat the question?
The system only gives a comment regarding to the language mistake. Even if you want to give me the final mark of the website.
No. Of course, it won't give you any marks. It's just highlighting all the different problematic statements. This is a language-related feedback. However, as a teacher, I can easily add more. I will add more. So, for example, here, if I go here, now look, wherever you click, you can type. So here, please change this sentence. Now, it's like what you do in Word when you use the review option and share something with the students. Now, it became a new comment, but this one is not colored like the other ones. The colored ones are language comments. This one might be about the meaning, about the organization, about the argument, the evidence, or any other comment. Maybe the same thing, or this sentence needs to go up a little bit, maybe under this sentence. So, I mean, it's a bit flexible. And again, if I want to add subject-verb agreement, I will add this here. Maybe I need this sentence is vague, I'll add this here. So you can add as many comments as you like, and it's all very simple and straightforward. Sure. Yes. Yeah. We were talking about this 5 minutes ago. We said I can maybe check or upload my own transcripts and do the editing, language editing, spelling, typos, and all of that before I submit to a journal or for publication. However, make sure when you do that to make it as a draft and not to save it to any online repository. Otherwise, it will be saved and might be problematic when you submit it. So the journal you are sending to will recognize, oh, this paper was submitted to somewhere else, or to another university or another journal. So that would be confusing to them. I mean, I would be very careful before I do this and know exactly what I'm doing before I share my own academic work, to make sure that it's not saved anywhere before it's submitted. Now, there is a very nice feature, very interesting one, is voice comments. So if you click on this part and then you record a voice comment, let's see what happens. Okay, I have to allow the computer to use this feature. Remember, yes, close. Now this one is active. I'm sharing a voice comment with my students about the introduction. The introduction is very short and needs to have more background information, a thesis statement, and a hook in the beginning. Thank you. And then I can pause or stop the recording and then save recording. So along with all the comments, sets, and marks we added, we can also add a short voice comment, and students will be able to listen to this comment, like maybe an overall recommendations or overall description of what you think about this. So again, this will save you time. Students may come to you, oh teacher, why did you give me this mark? What's wrong with my assignment? What's wrong with this? So I mean, once they listen, probably this will, you know, relieve them more and make them feel convinced of the problems you were doing, and saves your time as well. I'm not sure how long you may record. Probably it's like 1 minute recording. It's not a big recording, so probably 1 minute only. And along with that, you can add an overall text about the whole assignment. So well done, maybe. Please make sure you check the subject-verb agreement and the introduction. Now, this is again another recommendation or another overall comment, feedback. Try to start with the positive things and then maybe some more details so you don't feel discouraged. Now, we can see all the comments we have made or we have found on this paper. So this is like a report of everything we found, and that might help in grading students' work. And finally, you can see the rubric. If you added a rubric on the first place, it will appear under this section, and you can highlight, okay, in the structure, your grade was X, in the organization, it was like this or like that, and then students understand more why they scored like this. So the system is helping us seeing the whole picture, but we as instructors, we need to give more feedback and more comments so they know what was wrong, what's good, maybe positive or negative. That's all about this workshop. I would like to thank you again. Please share any questions you may have. I will try to answer as much as I can. Remember, we've been using it only for like 2 months now or 3 months. My little experience, I don't know, maybe I may have